Hi friends, welcome to Joy Fidel International. Here we are again, wanting to share with you something that we know. As always, you know what we represent. We're all about inspiring you to success. And why is this so important? Because we know that once our way of thinking, our way of understanding life gets better, our life becomes better. My name is Joy Fidel and welcome on board. So what's the topic today? Today it's about contributing to life. The topic is about how do I contribute to life, or contributing to life. Now this topic came to my thinking only recently, and it was like an eye-opener for me. Why? Because lots of us really sit there and say to ourselves, but I don't know what to do. I am so lost, I'm so confused, I have no idea what to do in life. I looked for jobs, I can't find it, and so I'll rather just sit down and I do nothing, and then I'll rather just complain and say how the system is so unfair to me and how everyone around me is unfair, and we really get on with that. Lots of people really get into this habit of complaining and just sitting there and complaining and just complain and complain and complain. But the big message here is about pulling you out of that state of mind, out of that mode where it feels like nothing else is going to work anymore. So how do we go about contributing to life? That's the big message. It's like bearing fruits. That was the message that came to me. It says, if you have no fruit to bear, then you're a bit like a barren person. And if you're barren, how does that contribute to life? And when we say barren, we don't necessarily mean until you've gone having children. That's not what barren here means. It just comes across like we are really disobeying. And for a Christian, that's such a big thing to deal with. Because clearly in Genesis, the Bible said to us, go ye and multiply. Go ye and multiply. Meaning, go and contribute to life. Go and bear fruits in life. And it really comes down to, you know, I mentioned this in one of our videos where I explained about the barren tree, the barren fig tree, where the owner came, wanted to get some fruits off his fig tree, and this fig tree had nothing. And he complained, he said, this is the third year running, or this tree's been here and nothing is happening, cut it down. So you remember where I keep mentioning that most times when we read the Bible, it doesn't make sense until somebody breaks it down to us. What are we like being here on this earth when we don't contribute at all? We don't want to give anything, but we want to take. Constantly expecting everyone around us to give us something. I remember one of the presidents of America, I can't remember which one of them, he says, ask not what America can do for you, but ask what you can do for America. That was one of those really amazing statements. The same goes to every country in the world. Yes, I know most countries, we have these political leaders who just want to destroy whatever natural resources the country has and will not give back anything to the people. Yes, I agree, such people exist. But you know, the same way this life is karma comes down on all of us. Everything he says, you will reap whatever you sow. Everything we sow, everything we put down in this earth, we will get our repercussion. So I personally don't make it my business to worry about people who are definitely going against the laws of nature. Just doing those things that they know they shouldn't do, but they're doing it. But our focus is about us. The focus of this video is about me and you, and how can we make our life better. That's what Joy Fidel International is about, inspiring you to achieve greatness in life or success or whatever it is you're looking for. So here we are trying to understand how we can contribute to make life better. And that message from the barren fig tree touched me. If you're not bearing any fruits, cut it down. If you are sitting at home not thinking of any idea you can contribute to life, what do you think the message is? The Bible clearly says it too. It says, to them that have, more will be given unto them. And to them that don't have, even the little they have will be taken away from them. Things like this push me into action. Things like this make me think. So, if you are not contributing, what that means is nothing new will be added to you. That little that you have may even be taken away from you. Where you have nothing, so whatever else is so little in your life will even be taken away from you. But if you are contributing, I had to explain to one of my daughters today, if you are giving out what's inside you, everything inside you is being brought out. I'm not saying you will not have secrets. I'm not saying you will not have what makes you who you are. You will have them, but if you have knowledge, if you have skills, if you have experiences that will benefit another person, and you just keep it inside you and tell yourself, you know what, this is just for me. No, you'll be surprised that you just be like that fig tree. Cut it down. Because for the fact that you are not giving out, you're not sharing what you know, you're not giving to those who need it, nothing new will be added onto you. You cannot keep amassing knowledge and amassing skills and amassing experiences and decide, no, all of it is for me. You know, the big message here is we are only here for a given time. We're only here on this earth for a given time, a specific given time which we don't know, but our Creator knows. And if all this knowledge and all this information and all these guidances, you're locking it up in your mind and locking it in your head, when the time comes, it will come. And you know the weird thing? All of that is absolutely useless wherever else our spirit goes. That knowledge will be useless there. So this is a place where the knowledge is useful. This is a place where your experiences are useful. This is a place where your skills are absolutely useful. But you see, the blessings of God comes to you the more you give out. And that's a big inspiration for you. That's a big inspiration for you, just like the fig tree. Because the owner, the master realized this tree is not contributing in any way into my life, cut it. So if you are contributing, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get more. And that really excites me each time I come here to share my knowledge, my experiences, my skills with you. Because I know by me giving to you, I will receive more. And it's not necessarily because it's going to come directly from you. No. Because the universe has so much to give. The universe is endless. It's one of the messages I have got from reading this book, The Science of Getting Rich. It says, nature is forever expanding. It's forever expanding. And you know, you hear those of us who will say, the end of the world has come. Oh, be scared. Oh, listen, can you hear these things happening in these places? The end. No. Once things are turning around this way, in these areas, something new comes up in another area. I mean, there were times when people thought, oh my gosh, we're going to finish taking out all the oil in the sun, I mean, in the planet. We're going to run out of oil, petroleum. But yet, now they're discovering different ways of driving the car. I mean, there are the cars that's driven with water, hydrogen. There's a car that's driven with electricity. There's a car. So, just the same way you would have thought that it's exhausted in one particular area, another area comes up. Just when we thought, oh my gosh, we're tired of walking on feet, someone came up with the idea of driving cars. And while we were struggling with driving cars we're still trying to understand driving cars, then aeroplane came up. Now we're flying. And as we're flying, they're now coming up with bigger ways and better ways of carrying us from one location to another. So nature is inexhaustible. So it's for you to be part of nature. So the minute you start holding on to things and saying, this is mine and mine only and nobody else is going to get, the more you are going to dry out. The more you will dry out. So it is for you to open your mind. Just open your mind. That's what this big message is for. Contribute to life. Give. Whatever you know how to do, you might think, oh no, but you know what I know is not big deal. I only know how to braid hair. Years ago, when I started, I thought it was no big deal. But little did I know that so many people needed that knowledge until I started sharing it. And then I had communities following me, people asking me questions, people wanting to buy the knowledge, people wanting skill. Hence, we then came up with our home training package, because then the question became, oh, I'm so far away. How do I get this knowledge? I wish I could be nearer you. And then we decided we're going to share this to as many people as possible. In here are over 30 DVDs that's going to show you different ways of designing hair that you can use in making money. And by the way, you're interested in this, it's on our website, hairextensionsandbeauty.com. It's our home training package to give you skills that will get you ready with your knowledge. But that's my contribution. I have contributed and I keep contributing by coming here to share the things I know with you. Things that have made life easier for me. Because I know how tough life is out there. If you don't make it your business to understand why things happen the way they happen, you will never know. And the way I get to know these things is from continuously reading. And, a book like this, The Science of Getting Rich, just gives you so much knowledge about how your mind is capable of handling so much information. It guides you on how you can plant ideas into your mind and turn them around for greater use. A book like this other one that I'm still reading, I keep reading and enjoy really, Working with the Laws. And this is all about the laws of nature. How when one thing happens, another is bound to happen. Or another thing happens and another may happen. And it's just the way nature creates us. So when you start understanding that this is how life is, you begin to see life in another light. It's no longer about that one said that, the other person didn't say that, this person hates me, this person loves me, this person. You begin to grow bigger than the basic. And this is when I start saying to people, it's not about competing with people. Because lots of us tend to forget. We're thinking, I want what she's got because she does it better. I actually wish I have skills like her. And then you forget that there are skills in you that are so unique to you. And then we tend to begin to think, oh, if only I knew what she knew. And then times like that, apart from that, we start being very envious of the other person. We start throwing in jealousy. We start bringing in, sometimes you get so angry because something is not working the way you expected it to work. And you start bringing in all the negatives. Now, what happens to negatives is they block your spirit. For as long as it's not the way God is channeling things to be, your spirit gets confused, you get lost. And you think things are not working. Yes, they are not working because you have blocked yourself. So the more you understand that nature is inexhaustible and that there's something that you are capable of doing, or so many things that you can do, which is what we bring across from this channel to you. I mean, for me, I've taken my time to really begin to understand the blessings that I have. I know I love working with hair, natural hair, wigs. I make wigs, like all these wigs. This is, by the way, our Mezi Million wigs, which we have on our website as well. It comes in so many colors. So this is available for shipping. If you're interested, just contact us. So I love working with wigs. The regular wigs that you see me wear all the time, I make them. My daughter makes them as well. I love working with, I love cooking, especially African cooking. I love that. And I'm looking at different ways I can turn them to stand out, to be unique and different from what you would normally think about. The creative side of it. I love that. I love dealing with the nutritional value of food. I've taken up trainings on that. So when I'm eating something, I want to know what that's going to put into my body. Am I just filling up my body, my system with just, they call them empty calories, or am I actually adding some nutritional value to my body? And so I appreciate the body that God gave me. So I watch out for the things I put in. And I love, dressing in the African fashion, which you've seen me wear so many different ones. So can you begin to see how, because I took my time to look at what I love doing, to look at the different ways God has blessed me. This is not just talking about the regular everyday thing, happily, or, have children, have husband, have friends, live in a basic home or whatever. All those things are just normal things that maybe everybody expects for a normal home or a normal person. But beyond that, I have seen the greater things that God has given me. So I come here and I chat with you about personal development. That's something I enjoy doing. So that's something I can move to the next level. And I love traveling. It's something that each time I'm thinking of a trip, I'm really excited because I want to see what people in that neighborhood are like, and what do they enjoy, what makes them think, what's in that landscape, is it this way or is it so? There is so many things that I know I have been blessed with. And when you start looking in your hands, you're going to find that there is so much. I love doing my makeup, and I've done lots of videos here showing you my steps, how I go about my makeup. So now tell me, why would I sit anywhere and say I haven't been blessed? I'm not envious of anyone. I'm not looking at anyone and say, I wish I knew what they know. Because if I want to know something, I know the very first steps to take. I save my money. I've done a video of that. And I go on training that thing. I create natural products for my hair and my children's hair, and I sell it too. I create products for my skin. So anything I'm interested in, I invest money, I invest time. And you're going to find that the minute you start doing that, things start to walk, how did I say it? Clockwork, flowing with time. That's what it is. So when you know you want something, don't hold back. Go for it. Save your time, save your money, go for it. But once you've got that, it's not for you to finish having that knowledge and keep it to yourself. It's for you to share it. Because the minute you share, it's like, there's something about, in nature, there's no vacuum. Because what happens is, the minute that thing has gone out of your hand, another thing replaces it. And so that's what happens with knowledge. The minute you can share your knowledge, share your skills, share your experiences, new things take their place. And that's what contributions mean. Once you start sharing The fact that you know what you're doing. Now, on this side of blessings, you're going to find the people who need that will be attracted to you. So like when we started showing our skills in braiding and the fact that we could train in braiding, teach people braiding, we got people coming in asking, can you train me too? Because they've seen me do it. People coming, can you do my hair? Because they've seen me show how I do hair. I get people asking, could you do my makeup? Because they've seen me do my makeup. So, can you cook African dishes for me? Yes, because you've seen me cook it. So do you see how when you give, you receive? And that's what the message is about, contributing. There is really no point in you knowing something and keeping it to yourself and hiding it inside. I bring this message in so many different forms because I'm really hoping that you're getting this and it's inspiring you to change your lifestyle. Because once you can get the message clearer and act upon it, you're going to see the differences in your life. And that's our biggest hope. We want to see that people are experiencing a better life. I mean, most times I hear people complain about how hard life is. Oh, life is so hard, it's so difficult. Nothing is flowing, nothing is making sense. It all comes down to our mindset. It comes down to the way we're thinking. It comes down to what we are putting into our mind and into our system. And that's the system that I want to unlock. I want to unlock that way of thinking. I want to change the way you're looking at life, such that you can see clearer. So you're not distracted anymore. You're not blindfolded. You're not made to feel that it's happening only to you. I mean, I was saying to somebody the other day, especially as women, another video I'm going to bring up is going to be talking about relationships. How most times when we end up in the wrong relationships, which generally I think is the case every time, not because it's bad, but because we are human and it's not possible to have exactly what you're thinking in your head in reality, especially when it comes to another human being. Why? Because human beings, we are human beings. We have a mindset, we have ideas flowing through us, we have thoughts coming through our head, and most times it's based on what we're dealing with at that time. So somebody may react to something just because this is what happened right now. I mean, sometimes there's even this advance about when you're hungry, you behave differently. So for that reason, we cannot control another human being. So when we're in relationships, we tend to think that, oh my gosh, my relationship is the worst on earth. People think that. But what we don't get is the same across board. It's just a question of how you manage yours. That's what it comes down to. So the life we live is the same across board. We've done a video on time where we said everybody's got 24 hours in a day as well. Even rich people deal with problems, poor people deal with problems, middle class people deal with problems. We all have issues to deal with. It's how we package ours. It's how we carry ourselves. It's how we manage how these things are coming our way. I mean, I was chatting with my sister the other day, and yes, I carry myself in a way that you never, if I don't tell you I'm struggling with anything, you will never know I'm struggling with anything. And then the image out there is everyone thinks your life is so great. And now we say, yes, thank you. Because you know what? God is going to make my life even greater. I never ever argue with God and say, why are you not making my life greater? Because I know how to walk with God. I cannot listen to all these things, these books, these magazines, and watch movies, and I take messages from them, and I read my Bible, and I connect it, and I say, yes, it makes sense, this makes sense, this makes sense, and I flow with it. Because this life, is very short. It's very fragile. I mean, I mentioned the other day, I lost a cousin the other day. I mean, it just happened, and that's it. Life is gone. Quite young kids, and that's it, gone. And then you look at yourself and you get into a certain age and you're thinking, oh, I'm still here. Yeah, you're still here. That means you still got things to do. So get on with it. That's why I tell myself, get on with it. Don't sit there and fold your arms and keep thinking that, oh yeah, I got so much more time on my hands. No, you have no control of your time. You have absolutely no control of your time. So things that you have to contribute to life, please get up and do it. Nothing you know is insignificant. Nothing you know is to be looked down upon. Every skill counts. Every skill matters. Every knowledge you have matters. Every knowledge you have is going to give something to somebody. So whatever you know, do it. I remember watching a video once and I've forgotten his name, and his message was, you must empty yourself before you die. Make sure you've exhausted every message that's in you before your time is done. And for him, that was what he did. He never gave a day away like, oh, I'm idling away my day. No, he was constantly on it until, as far as he was concerned, I mean, people who watched this video said he had some premonition knowing that his time was nearly over. So nobody has control of their day, of their life. So whatever ideas come to you, use it. Whatever knowledge comes to you, use it. Whatever information you're getting, make sure it's valuable to you. Make sure you're sharing it. Make sure you're giving it out. Because the more you give, the more you're going to get, the more blessings are coming your way. So, big message here is, don't just be one of those people who I like to call net takers. Net takers, you just want to take. And it's one of those things they tend to say about us Africans, that all we want to do is consume. So, you know how China manufactures everything, and European countries are using their technology ideas to create things, and they come up with ideas, and maybe China will manufacture it, but the idea comes from them, you know, like with the iPhone and all of that. And then they look at us in Africa in particular and they go, oh, the dark continent. Why do they say that? Because generally we have so much. Anybody that knows that Africa has so much. Africa has been so blessed. It's the same thing I'm trying to get across here. As humans, we are so blessed, but we don't see it. Africa has all these potentials. You don't want to talk about the root crops. I mean, I'll give a simple example which I always love to give to anyone that cares to listen. We have, for instance, the European countries, Western world, there's potatoes, right? What do we do with potatoes? There's so many options. Mashed potato, fries, baked, you name it. Potato with fish, potato with sauce, potato with this, potato. And I've been to a shop once where I just looked at the array of things they could do with potatoes, and I'm like, oh my goodness. That's just one food crop. One. And you come to Africa and you have yam, and you have potato itself, you have sweet potato, you have three-leaf yam, you have, you know, this is just crops, and you have so much of it. And then what do we do with it? Nothing. Nothing. Cassava even. There's sweet cassava, and then there's the main cassava. And so the farthest we go is we make the gari with the cassava, and then we make the pounded yam with the yam. And that's it. All the other ones, no one remembers them. No one talks about them. I can talk about them because growing up, I remember planting all of those, and I knew they were there. And so it makes you wonder, what is wrong with us? Why can we not think of ways we can play with this same food and be as creative as other people in the world are with their own food. So what are we? Consumers. We cannot put together ideas and thoughts and play around with our food. And you now see why I enjoy working with African food, because I'm just thinking, what are the so many other what are the possibilities? What are the things I could do with these things? And when you start talking about, you know, tree crops or fruit crops or whatever, and you're looking at mangoes, pineapple, pawpaw, guava, you just name it, and it just goes on, and bananas and all of that. And then you come here and you get the smoothies in all different tastes, and you go into the shop and they can put the infusion of whatever into every drink, and you're thinking, how did they do that? And we cannot do that with the same things we have, even more. So that's about contribution. And even in, you know, traveling and tourism, which is one of the things I'm really keen on, how I love traveling as well and seeing other countries. And then I'm doing it also as a program in school and in college. So it's like, when I look at the statistics of what other countries are achieving with their tourism, and I look at Africa, and I'm thinking, what is happening? What is wrong with us? Because we are not prepared to contribute to life. We just want to take. You look at it, we go, Nigeria, for instance, they want to be in Dubai 24/7. But a human being creating things in that country that never even existed. Like they can create beaches. A beach in Dubai? How did that come about? It's a desert land. But they created it. Look at the massive buildings they have there. So, I mean, in tourism, they even wanted to take a pallet of ice from Iceland into Dubai. And how would you do that with a country that's so hot? The interesting thing is, they have the money to tie down in all these things. And us in Africa, with all the natural resources we have and all the money we can command from all of that, now we still want to waste all of it. You see, like we said with the parable of the fig tree, cut it off. Cut it off. And you hear the story of, to them that have more will be given, and to them that don't have, even the little they have. Because we're not using our senses and using all the message God put in our head and changing our life. You see how every day you're hearing, one boat has capsized and another boat has capsized, and hundreds of people are dying on sea, Africans running away from home. Yeah, because we made our country so unattractive, so unlivable that most times when I go home, and because I get excited going home and I want to be there, and I say to people, I can't wait to come back and get on with things here, and they go, are you sure you want to come? Everybody's running away from here. Yes, that's how they want to make it. They want to make it so unlivable that we can all run away. And then you know what may possibly happen? Obviously, people who have value, who know the value of what we have, will go and take it over. And then we all want to run back there. But by which time they would have taken it over. So, is it not time we wake up and realize what we're doing to ourselves and stop being just net consumers or net takers and start being producers? Because the thing that they tend to sell to us so much back home, they want to just sell church to us. Constantly come to church and give us money. Come to church and then you give all that money to this pastor. He goes to buy private jets and travels the world with your money, your contribution. But he's not helping you to know that God has given something to you and you can use your knowledge to add more to life. He's not going to help teach you that. Because last week when I went to church, there was a big message that was coming across. He said, while the children of Israel were mourning throughout, you know, complaining to Moses that he's taking them from Egypt and he didn't give them any food to eat. They wish they were left in Egypt where they were at least some food to eat. And Moses prayed to God, and God threw them, got them manna from heaven, and they were eating and they were happy, they were merry, they were dancing. So the followers of Jesus Christ now started as well. Oh, you remember in the olden days, Moses got the children of Israelites manna from heaven. How about you give us some manna from heaven as well? And Jesus happily said to them, I am the bread of life. So if you believe in me, then you believe in my Father, and then whatever you're looking for, you will get it. You don't need manna coming from heaven. God is not sending manna down anymore. I am the bread of life. Look up to me. And that's all there is to it. Look unto God, and God will guide you in your spirit. That's the big message. Your spirit is where all the answers are. But because we don't open our eyes and ears and everything when we are talking to God, we don't hear it. All we are hearing is somebody saying to us, bring money to church, give tithe, and when you give tithe, everything you do will multiply. No! You must listen to that still small voice that tells you things. This is how you go about doing things. It will be very clear to you. And so for as long as we are not contributing to life, we are not willing to give anything to life, how will anything recycle in Africa? How would we create jobs for our people, for our children? What kind of planet do we want to, what kind of continent do we want to leave for our children? So this is so important to all of us. We must learn to give out. Give out. Whatever we know, share it. We must learn to allow our spirit to guide us. And we must learn to understand that it's not just about taking. Because I sit here and I talk about the skills that I share, and I talk about the knowledges that I have, and people just want to just watch and sit and watch and don't do anything with this knowledge. This knowledge that's coming across to you is for you to work with it. It's for you to incorporate it into your life. It's for you to make changes to who you are. Because the more you can apply these things into your life, the better you're going to contribute to life. Because like I said, we're not going to be here forever. It's your contribution that counts. And when you look back on people whose names remained in history, it wasn't because they just came and owned 20,000 houses, owned 50,000 cars, were buying private jets. That's not the people who are remembered in history. It's always about people who contributed to life. So it'd be nice if we all get to that level when we are all given something back to life, such that life gives us something back. So the bigger message here was about bearing fruits in life. And just like the parable of this barren fig tree, we don't want to be cut down. We want to really put our, stamp our own presence in this life by bearing fruits, by contributing to life. That's what it is. You bear fruits when you're given something out. And, like I've said in another video, it's about obeying God's will. He said to us, go ye and multiply. Because remember, he created us in his image. And our Creator never sat down idle. He never sat down bland. He worked for 6 days, and maybe on the 7th day he rested. But of course, after he created man, he said, okay, you take over from me, go and multiply. So if we were created in his image, what message does that give you? It means you're not meant to sit idle. It means there's so much more to you. It means he's put so much knowledge in you. It means you're capable of so much more than you imagine. It means there's so much you can contribute to this world. So that's a big message. Go here and multiply. Go and bear fruits. And bear good fruits too. and contribute to life. Give something to life daily. Whenever you can, give something. Because the more you give, the more it comes back to you. And you know, you get lots of people, which we've talked about earlier, because I don't have money. It's not about that money. It's about how you're willing to allow yourself to bring in ideas and knowledge into the world, such that people who listen may even want to buy your idea. They might even want to invest in it, because that idea made so much sense. Ideas are not money based. So you need to work with yourself from now onwards and start thinking, what can I bring to life? What can I make possible? How can I make my community better? How can I contribute to my society? How can I make the life I live a lot better than it is now? And so I'm really going to stop here, because like I always say, the ear that's going to hear will hear from one little thing you say. It doesn't have to be so much more. So I'm going to thank you so much for watching this video. And please, if you like, give us a thumbs up. Remember to share it with your friends, because again, like I say, every message we come here with works for everyone. It's meant for everyone. Remember to follow us on various social media: World of Braiding on Instagram, Joy Fido on Instagram, World of Braiding on Facebook, Joy Fido on Facebook. And then I have so many more. Like I said, I've been blessed with so many things. I thank God for that. I love fashion, so I have my African Queen. I love cooking. I have my Sunshine Foods. I love motivational speaking, which is what I do here most of the time as well. So all of this is all aimed at giving you something, sharing a piece of me with you all the time, which I absolutely love doing. So I pray God to continue to bless you. Let him give you that inner eye. Let him give you those vision, those wisdom, things that will help to change that thing that you're looking for in your life. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless you.